Welcome everyone to the AFC and DXB podcast. I'm your host, Rishi, and I'm going to be talking all things Arsenal. Usually I come to you from sunny Dubai, however, as you can tell by the backdrop, this week I am in the Maldives for a family holiday. So forgive me guys, this week I'm not going to be in Dubai doing the pod, but yeah, going forward it's going to be in different locations in Dubai. And yeah, we're here to talk all things Arsenal. Guys, we have a big game today against Burnley. And although, you know, on the face of it, the opponent might not be that big, but the overall context around the game, I think, is actually huge. Not just this week, but also next week, just given the buffer we can potentially build with our two key opponents or our key competitors playing each other next week, Man City and Liverpool. So the importance of getting 6 points against Burnley and Sunderland next week, it's just huge, guys, to build that buffer. So we have a bit of a safety net going into the Christmas period, guys. I think we need at least a 10-point buffer, because I do think Liverpool and Man City are going to click at some point. Particularly that attack at Liverpool is too good to not work. And although, you know, we're having some good banter talking about Wirtz and Isak not quite firing, guys, we know they're quality players. But anyway, enough about Liverpool. Let's talk a little bit more about Arsenal, maybe the preview for today's game. Guys, it's a hugely winnable game. I know most podcasts do their predictions at the end, but I'll say we should be looking to win this game by 2 or 3 goals, as long as we kick off, you know, properly. There's no rustiness from the midweek game against Brighton, where we were maybe a touch fortunate, some can say, but again, amazing October, guys. We didn't concede a goal, we won every single game. And I know as Arsenal fans right now, we're in a bit in dreamland, but we're all trying to stay calm. That's the key thing, guys. Arsenal fans, we all get ahead of ourselves. We talk early on in the season. We've been in this position before, you know, finishing second 3 times. And there's a feeling, right? There's a feeling across the country right now. There's a feeling across the opposition teams, other fans, Arsenal fans as well. The feeling is that Arsenal this year really can do it because the squad depth is so strong. The manager seems to be in a great place mentally. He seems calm, he seems focused. He's got the players playing for him. He's got the subs playing as, you know, these finishers as he calls them, and you know, they played a huge importance. As long as we can keep injuries to a minimum, guys, I do think we've got the squad depth to really go far in all competitions this season. But I do see the pundits, and there is this kind of forced pressure on Arsenal at the moment. There's no excuses. We have to win it this year. They finished second 3 times in a row, ignoring the fact how much money Liverpool have also spent on their attack, coming from being the Premier League winners and then spending 400 million odd on a new attack. Ignoring the fact that City have got the best manager and the best striker in the world. Arsenal have to win the league, right? That's according to all pundits. But I guess we stay calm as a fan base. We stay relaxed. We just try and enjoy the games as they come, really, because we're going into every game at the moment that feels winnable, right? I don't fear any opponent at the moment. I just fear the fact that we're on this great high and this amazing momentum at the moment, and we just need to keep it going. And the real reason why we need to keep going over the next 2 games in particular is just because we want to get to that international break, guys, with the same form. The next 2 games are so winnable. Liverpool, Man City play each other next week, so one of them is dropping points, guys, and we're already 6 and 7 points above either of them respectively. So just knowing that if we can win this game, if we can beat Sunderland, that buffer will be bigger next week. Then we go into the Christmas period, guys. Key players we get back. I think we get Ødegaard, Havertz, Madueke, which is huge. Actually, I want to talk about Madueke a little bit, just given the importance of how big Saka is for us and how much in the last few seasons losing him has been a key component to us falling off a little bit. As you can see, during the midweek game, we played Dalman, who obviously is a huge talent. But we do need Madueke back purely for the fact that Saka does need to rest. We know he's liable to injuries when being overplayed. We know Arteta is hugely reliant on him and probably, you know, trying to push him for his own benefit to try and get him to that, you know, top level kind of performance where guys like Salah, your Ronaldos, your Messis, those kind of, I know he's not on that level, but those kind of players can play consistently without getting injured. And I think Arteta is really keen to get Saka to that level, but I do think we do need backup, and getting Madueke back would be huge, just given how how much of an impact he had on the squad when he arrived. Other key players, guys, we want to talk about for this game in particular, and I guess it's a couple of the new boys who I guess Arsenal fans have been in 2 minds about actually since the beginning of the season. I'm going to start with Eze. I thought at the beginning of the season, when we signed Eze, I had him down as the player who would take us that next step. I had him down as the guy who, he would be the reason why, given the league is decided by such fine margins, he was going to be the player to take us to that next level with his, you know, in a team that's so well organised. He's almost that maverick that you don't know what's coming next. You know, with Arsenal, you always know where the next pass is or the patterns of play. And with him, it's just a bit more off the cuff. And we love that. And I do think it's been an adjustment period for both him and Arteta. Maybe Arteta's been giving him more sort of a disciplined approach and a disciplined sort of rules-based approach to his game. And Eze's more of a flow player. He does as he feels. And maybe he's getting accustomed to being given strict instructions. And then Arteta's getting used to maybe just you having a bit more of a maverick player who you just need to let go sometimes. So I think this first sort of batch of games has been a definite adjustment period for both Arteta and Eze. But guys, I think we're starting to see now that really coming to fruition. I think that started last week against Crystal Palace. He didn't even have his best game, Eze. He was losing the ball a little bit. He was a bit untidy after he was beating his man. But that one moment where he hit the kind of scissor kick volley, no one in our team does that ever. You know, as Arsenal fans, we know we can kind of predict the goals we score. Either it's Saka cutting in from the right hand side, it's either a corner, set piece FC. But that kind of scissor kick half volley, it doesn't happen for Arsenal really. So seeing that happen in a game where it was such fine margins and we just needed a moment of magic, that is exactly what Eze brings to the team, guys. And I think we're going to start to see that come to fruition a little bit more over the next sort of few weeks and months. And I think that's going to be so important for us, especially in the games that are a little bit more tight. The next player I want to talk about is the Glock man himself, Glock 14, Victor Gyökeres. I think he's the biggest enigma in the team at the moment in terms of overall fan base view. He's so split, guys. You speak to one fan and they'll say he's totally useless. He can't run properly. He can't control the ball, guys. He doesn't even finish at the moment. He's not finishing at the moment. He's not getting his goals. And then you speak to another section of the fan base and they'll say, but he's actually running his socks off. The space he's making, you know, space invader chat like Havertz, the space he's actually making for the team is actually creating those gaps for guys like Trossard, Saka, Martinelli, Eze. And he's a different kind of striker, guys. We haven't had a proper number 9 like that in a long, long time. You know, we've always gone with the unconventional sort of false 9, sort of 10, Havertz style. Before that, Aubameyang used to kind of cut off the left. This guy's a pure number 9, guys. So once he clicks as a number 9 and he's finishing his chances, I think we're going to all be a lot happier about him. But I do get it. I do get the fact that Arsenal are known to be such a fluid team, and in such a fluid team where, you know, the pass and movement is usually amazing, he's a bit more of your sort of stiff, you know, hold the ball up, brute force, fight against his centre back. But I think if he just relaxes a little bit now, if he just, you know, doesn't put so much pressure on himself, and with that he does need goals. And I guess the other day in the it was a Champions League Atletico, he got a couple of goals, and you just felt him breathe a little bit, and we just need him to do that. Keep doing what you're doing, keep making those runs, keep stretching the play, keep making the space. If he can just bag a couple of goals, you know, every now and then, just a couple of goals, get himself up to 15, 20 goals for the season, he's done his job, guys. I'm still keeping the faith in Gyökeres. I'm still sort of, you know, of the mindset that when Havertz comes back, there are going to be games where he's going to rotate, and I guess that will take the pressure off Gyökeres as well. Right now he's got to a period where he's almost played every single game. I think the Brighton game midweek was his first rest. He needs Havertz back just to sort of go back and forth, create that competition. They can bounce off each other. They can probably play together. Havertz maybe dropping slightly deeper, and it might help Gyökeres as well. Apart from that, guys, you know, the team is looking super solid from a defensive standpoint. I know Saliba's out this week. Mosquera steps in. If Gabriel's out, I guess Hincapié, where we saw him, he looks solid, guys. Hincapié looks technically sound, strong, goes for it, you know, front foot first. And Calafiori is also there so he can play centre back. But I guess Gabriel's there, so if we just run through the lineup quickly, what I would play, I'd go obviously Raya in goal, Timber, who's, shout out Timber, player of the season contender so far, and he slept on. Best right back in the league. I don't want to hear any Reece James chat. Yuri and Timber is doing bits. So Timber right back, Mosquera on the right, Gabriel on the left. I guess we can go Calafiori to come back left back, even though we all love Miles Lewis-Skelly. Zubimendi, shout out Zubimendi, he's the link for us at the moment. Zubimendi, Rice. I would probably go with Eze in the 10 again, just to keep that momentum up for him. He needs to be able to play there whilst Odegaard's out. I know he can play off the left as well. He did really well against Brighton, but I'd go Eze in the 10. I'd go Trossard purely because he's a bagsman, probably the best finisher in our team. On the left, I'd go Gyökeres up front, and I'd go Saka on the right. I think that's probably our strongest team at the moment, regardless of injuries. I know we've got so many players to come back, guys. But yeah, that's the lineup I'd go with. Obviously, Waneri did great during the midweek game. Maybe he can come off the bench and you know, if needed, and create some magic for us. I still think he's got a great future in that number 10 spot, and obviously Lewis Skelly as well on the left. We're a little bit short this week, guys, because Martinelli's out, I believe. So it'll be maybe Dauman comes in on the bench for him. But yeah, guys, look, it's a super winnable game. Burnley are pretty solid defensively. We need to break them down early, whether that's by a set piece. I don't think we even really care. It'll be great to see some open play goals like we did the first one against Brighton. They're so winnable, guys. These next two games are so winnable. And if we can just get through this one and Sunderland, with Man City and Liverpool playing each other next week, we can start creating a little gap between ourselves and the next two. That makes things a little bit easier going into the new year. And if we can create that buffer and that momentum, guys, although we all want to stay pretty chilled at the moment, you know, we're all feeling that this could be our year. All right, guys, that's enough from me today on the match preview. I'm going to do a post-match as well. I'm also going to be doing regular content going forwards, just on all things Arsenal. Look, the theme of the podcast is AFC in DXB, so I'm going to be doing it from different locations in Dubai. This week has been in the Maldives. Sorry, not sorry. Stunning here, by the way. Thanks for listening, guys. Come on the Arsenal.